Hey guys, here today with another Shirogorov knife notes video. Today we have in front of us the Custom Division MiniQuantum. Now, you guys might have already seen my video on the MiniQuantum Sprint Run Edition, and in many ways there's going to be a lot of overlap, especially when talking about certain things such as the blade configuration, the handle features as well. The Sprint Run does have the RCS rotating clip system, which is something that is found on the full customs that the MiniQuantum does not have. But for a lot of people who have watched that video already, there won't be too many new things. Of course, the MiniQuantum here in front of us, the Custom Division one, does have some really nice features such as the color scheme. But for a lot of intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same knife. So I do apologize if I am repeating any information. I will also have the Sprint Run here available to kind of take a look at and do some comparisons where I think it is important too. So hopefully that video is interesting. Now, let's go ahead and first talk about what the MiniQuantum is. The MiniQuantum is, of course, a shrunk-down version of the full-size Quantum. We do have the Persian-esque blade, which anybody who has seen the original Quantum can see where the MiniQuantum really gets its name from. The handle hasn't changed too much, however, as well, but the size, of course, has. And putting it up here against a neon, so I have a Hatian 0 here, again, similar blade size and handle size. Putting up against a Stellar as well. There's a Stellar Sprint Run and an F95 size knife. You can see that the MiniQuantum falls in the same size range as the Neon. Now, the Neon for many people is their most favorite Shirogorov knife. People really like that smaller pocketability. You're getting a blade length that it packs an incredible amount of blade in for the size. Something similar to a large Sabenza or even a Koenig Arius, for example. Now, the MiniQuantum itself, being smaller than the full-size version, of course, will also weigh significantly less here. Taking a look at it, we're looking at under 3 ounces, which I think is actually pretty impressive. 2.91 ounces here. Let's actually take a look at the Sprint Run. I actually did it, but just as a comparison here, looking at 3.2 ounces. So there is a noticeable weight difference between the two. Of course, the use of the bronze material for the backspacer and the clip is contributing most likely to the significant weight gain as opposed to the titanium on the Custom Division model. Let's go ahead and take a look at the blade size once again. You can take a look here. We're looking at just over 3.5 inches of cutting length, in between 3.5 and, over 3.5. So in between 3.5 and 3 3/4 of cutting edge here from edge to edge. With the knife open, we're looking at around just under 7 3/4 open, and the handle closed. Looks like just under 4.5 inches. So again, very close to the dimensions of the Neon, as I had said previously. Taking a look at the blade, we have M398 3mm blade stock here, so incredibly thin. This has been really the trend with Custom Division knives and the full customs as well from Sergey. We have the Hati magnetic and then the F95T, the newest model, both having that 3mm blade stock, and we are seeing that trend continued here with the MiniQuantum. In comparison, when you take a look at a Neon, the Neon is coming at around 3.5 millimeters of blade thickness. So again, a thinner blade than the Neon, but in the same size, which should result in a slicier blade. You can see here M398, which again has been a steel that has been very commonly used in Custom Division lineup and for limited knives as well. Very good edge retention. Satin flats here. We also have what the workshop calls the pierced fuller and also the skeletonized flipper tab here. This is something that is different when you can look at the full-size Quantum. To my memory, it seems like all of the full-size Quantums do have a fuller here, but none of them have been skeletonized completely through. So that is something interesting to note, and something that we also see on the full customs as well, full custom MiniQuantums, except the Damascus models. The Damascus models still only have a normal fuller as opposed to the pierced fuller on the mono steel models. Now, one thing that is different about the blade engraving on the Sprint Run, you can actually see it on here. Let's see if I have the Sprint Run. And that is something that we do see on the customs. Sergey really likes putting the blade steel here, also on some of the limited collaborations as well. But custom divisions seem to have the blade steel right here. So that is something that differentiates between the Sprint Run and the custom division. We also have the custom division logo here, of course, which we do not see on the Sprint Run. Taking a look at the handle here, both knives have the same milling pattern, but we have this beautiful blue highlights on the handle here. Of course, the main color of the handle I would say is gray, but if you look in kind of the channels of the milling here, you can see these really subtle blue highlights also on the logo as well. Really well done. The workshop has pretty much mastered this dual anodization technique, and it's really lovely to see it here, especially with the MiniQuantum scales being this concave milling, something that we also saw on the show side of the Hati magnetic. It really does go that extra step to accentuate the thinness of the knife. And if you take a look here, you can see the beautiful concave milling on the inside of the scales. Taking a look here at this kind of faux bolster kind of separation line, you can see we do have this milling, this horizontal milling here that's going across the handles. We also actually do have finer milling as well on the Bear logo, but it's just incredibly hard to capture here. Now, this logo being added to the rear portion here is something that is unique to both the custom division and the Sprint Run models. The full customs, the milling pattern actually extends all the way to the back of the handle here. So something interesting. Sergey really likes to kind of mix it up for the custom division models, and also the texture has changed as well. On the Sprint Run and the custom division, they do share the same milling pattern, but that milling pattern is distinctly different than the one on the custom. You can see here also managed to miss this when talking about the kind of faux bolster here, but we have this raised titanium pivot collar here, of course, with the custom division indexed screw, where the screw is on the other side, the actual screw used to disassemble the knife. Taking a look at the other side here, you can see that we have that milling pattern continued. We do have this fixed clip here, and again, for any other knife, this would be kind of unimpressive. But when you compare it to the Sprint Run, which has the RCS rotating clip system, which is designed to allow you to clip it onto pants without, destroying the seam, or extremely thick pants. You basically clip it on, slide it in, let go, and it'll clip back on. The custom division model has a fixed clip, which for some people they might prefer that, especially since it does take a little bit of time getting used to the RCS system. Personally, I'm really used to it right now. I actually have caught myself trying to do that same kind of opening action with other knives which don't have it. But for some people who just are really turned off by that clip system, you might be pleasantly surprised to hear that the normal MiniQuantum custom division has a normal clip. That does mean that the clip does have a little bit of a different design. Of course, there is no arrow indicating that it is not the RCS system on the custom division. Also, you can see here the milling pattern is slightly different. The pad here, this extra large pad, is really nice in allowing you to push the clip down. So it's interesting to see that we do have some kind of remnants of that on the custom division model here, but of course it is not the same size and looks slightly different than on the Sprint Run and the full custom model. Another interesting thing to note as well is this bridge here that you can see close to the front of the clip. Now, because the scales are contoured concave, this is actually necessary to allow you to get your pants underneath that clip. Now, it's not necessary on the Sprint Run and full custom, as you just rotate the clip out of the way to insert into your pants. But because the custom division model does not have that, this little bridge here is necessary. Honestly, I find it a little kind of distracting since it kind of just interrupts this beautiful concave milling here, but I do understand the need for it, and that's something that I immediately saw a difference between that and the Sprint Run and full custom version. Interestingly enough, the rear screw is also slightly different. You can see alongside with the clip profiling being just slightly different, the rear clip screw size is different as well. This one rotates, this one doesn't. Just overall different clip. Very interesting. I do love the beautiful blue accents here. You know, this is a very bright blue anodization that, of course, contrasts with the blue highlights of gray titanium for the rest of the handle here. Taking a look at the backspacer too, we can see that beautiful blue coloring. Just like the Quantum, the full-size Quantum, we do have this kind of floating effect here, which I think is was excellent. And this thin backspacer, I think, looks absolutely beautiful when you combine it with that thin blade stock. It just goes to accentuate the overall thinness. Kind of thin is in theme of the knife here. Taking a look at the inside, you can see we have the Custom Division logo here. This is the first model of 2023, and we also have the numbering of the knife. And of course, we have the beautiful backspacer accentuating the thinness of the knife and the centering as well. So really nice to see that there, and something that we also see on the Sprint Run model as well. Now, of course, like all of the other custom divisions, we have the single row roller bearing system here as denoted by the sun logo here, and also the milling on the inside for reduced weight. Now, interestingly, on the MiniQuantum, there actually is this kind of milling pattern on the inside. The depressions in the milling are not completely smooth, and that's something that I've noticed on the Sprint Run model as well. Taking a look at the liner here, you can see that this is an inset liner lock design, just like the Sprint Run and full customs, and also the Stellar, the previous model as well, that has the inset tab lock design. Again, some really nice features that we had seen previously on the Stellar. They kind of call it the apron here, so that when you're pushing the liner out against the scales, your hands or your fingers won't get stuck in between the handle, the titanium handle, and the steel lock bar. Something I wish a lot of other makers would incorporate. And really nice contouring here as well to match the chamfering on the frame. Really nice. I really love this apron feature that Sugargrove has been doing on their kind of inset tab lock models. Something that is different compared to the Sprint Run and that is also on the full customs is the addition of this jimping here on the lock bar. You can see here on the Sprint Run that there is no jimping. So kind of interesting note. I would say that perhaps makes the custom division a little bit fancier in that regard. Another feature that the lock bar does have that I do think is fancier is the addition of satin finishing on the lock bar. Here you can see that the Sprint Run does not have a satin finishing. And of course, as you would expect, the full customs have a satin finish on that steel inset liner lock as well. But overall, that's pretty much it for the custom division MiniQuantum. A lot of people are looking forward to this knife. Definitely recommend you go and check it out at the show, both the custom division and the full custom models, since Sergey has been kind of on a run with them recently. Very curious about this as well, since this is the first time Sergey has really shrunken down an existing model. You know, people have talked about the Neon being a baby F95, but I think there's a lot of design aspects that really makes the Neon stand out from the F95. The MiniQuantum, of course, this blade shape is unmistakable. So I think perhaps maybe Sergey really wanted to run with this blade shape, and you can't really call it anything other than a Quantum because the blade shape is so recognizable. But anyways, again, very, very highly desirable knife for good reason. The size is perfect. I have smaller hands. The thin blade stock and really cool colors here make this an extremely attractive option. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.